The Miami Dolphins made a move. A small one. That depends on how you look at it. Some transactions shake the entire league, while others barely register. This one, it falls somewhere in between. On the surface, it's just a depth addition, claiming cornerback Ryan Cooper Jr. off waivers from the Seattle Seahawks. But if you look closer, it says a lot about where this team stands and, more importantly, where it's heading. Miami has a problem in the secondary. They know it, and now they're trying to do something about it. Ryan Cooper Jr. isn't a name that will send shockwaves through the fan base. He's not a blockbuster signing, not a splashy free agent addition, and definitely not a guy opposing quarterbacks are losing sleep over. Not yet, but every team needs players like him. Roster depth wins games in December and January. Having capable backups, guys who can step in and not be a liability, can mean the difference between a playoff run and a collapse. But let's be real. This isn't a player with a defined role in Miami. This is a player fighting for his NFL future. And maybe, just maybe, that makes him even more dangerous. Undrafted in 2024. That alone puts a chip on a guy's shoulder. There's something about going through the entire draft process, waiting for your name to be called, and then nothing. Silence. 32 teams pass on you, round after round, and you're left to scrape and claw for an opportunity. That's where Cooper's journey started. He landed in Baltimore, joining the Ravens as a long-shot prospect. They kept him around, but only on the practice squad. One game. One single appearance. No stats. No splash. Just another young player waiting for a break that never really came. The Ravens moved on. The Seahawks took a flyer on him, signing him to a reserve/future deal. It didn't last. Seattle let him go. And now here he is. In Miami. Another shot. Another chance. Another fight. Rewind a little further, and you'll see why teams have been willing to give him these chances. Oregon State. That's where he made a name for himself. Over 2 seasons, he played in 23 games, piled up 82 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 4 interceptions, and 22 passes defended. Those aren't eye-popping numbers, but they tell you something. He was around the ball, he made plays, and he held his own in a solid defensive system. What stands out about Cooper isn't just the stats. It's how he was used. Oregon State put him in the slot, a lot. He played 467 slot snaps in 2022, then 267 in 2023. That's where his skill set fits best. At 5 foot, 11 and 192 pounds, he's built for it. He's not the rangy outside corner who will shadow a team's WR1. He's the guy who takes on the shifty slot receivers, the quick route runners, the guys who work the middle of the field. And in today's NFL, that's a vital role. But here's the thing. Cooper isn't walking into an easy situation. He's not being handed anything. This is a Dolphins secondary that is, frankly, in trouble. That's not a slight. It's just reality. They need help. Badly. Jalen Ramsey? No doubt, he's still one of the best in the league. But he can't do it alone. He needs a supporting cast, and right now, Miami is struggling to find one. Kendall Fuller? Gone. Released on February 14th. It was a move that had to be made for financial reasons, but that doesn't change the fact that it left a gaping hole in the depth chart. Kader Kohou? He's been a key piece, a guy who stepped up when Miami needed him. But now, he's a restricted free agent. His future isn't locked in. The Dolphins will have a decision to make. Siran Neal, an unrestricted free agent. That's another body potentially out the door. So who's left? Who can Miami count on? Ramsey, obviously. But beyond that, it gets murky. Cam Smith is still in the mix, but injuries have been a constant theme in his young career. Then you've got Storm Duck and Ethan Bonner, 2 undrafted players who haven't proven anything at the NFL level. The depth is concerning. The uncertainty is glaring. That's where Cooper comes in. He's not here to be a savior. He's not expected to step in and shut down elite receivers. He's here to compete, to grind, to prove that he belongs. And in this league, that's sometimes all it takes. Realistically, his best shot at making the roster is as a backup slot corner. If Kohou leaves, maybe Cooper gets a crack at replacing him. More likely, he's fighting for a reserve role. And that means one thing, Special teams. If he wants to stick around, that's where he'll have to make an impact. That's how these kinds of players earn a roster spot. Hustle, effort, consistency. And let's not kid ourselves. This won't be Miami's last move at cornerback. More help is coming. Whether it's through the draft, free agency, or another waiver claim, the Dolphins aren't finished addressing this position. They can't afford to be. Ryan Cooper Jr. is just the first addition. Now, he has to make sure he's not the first one out.